Present.
Thank you. Nava Cruzat. Nicholas. Okay. Ibe,
Present.
Kenna,
Present.
Morissette. Danny. Temple.
Present.
Vorn. Lisiana. Bishop.
Present.
Erangel. Adam. Daedalus.
Present.
DeCara.
Present.
Butler. Butler. Campbell. L. Is anything in the chat? Okay. Castillo.
Present.
Lazier.
Present.
Pentel.
Present.
Hamid. Present. Larson. Moore. Damian. Rose.
Here.
Whitson. Jason. Okay. Quiroga.
Present.
Carter.
Present.
Brown. Similo.
Present.
Amayan. Nadella. Patel. Ishan. Ishan Patel. Shah.
Present.
You. Costa's excused. Borges. Duke.
Present.
Hochfelder. Holmes. Present. I'm here. Kazay.
Present.
Lacasse.
Present.
AJ Patel. Holman. Richmond. Present. Sandlin.
Present.
Rivera. Kairos. Demarla.
Here.
Matal.
Present.
If I did not call your name, can you say something? Okay, we have 29 out of 46. Quorum is verified.
Okay, wait 1 second. I'm notifying for some absences real quick. Okay. Are we good? Okay. All right. Approval of the minutes. Please take a look at today's agenda minutes, and then I'll take a motion. Big motion. Sandlin.
A motion to approve today's agenda.
There's been a motion to approve today's agenda. Are there any objections? No. Is that objection, Temple?
A question. I was just asking if we moved to approve last meeting's minutes.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Thank you. Is there a motion? Wait, approval of the minutes. Is there a motion to approve last meeting's minutes? Pro tempore DeMarla. Oh, is that present and voting? Or
Yeah.
No, I can't see any of the like elections. I don't know if it's just like my team's not updating, but it's like not in the document for me. So before we like approve the agenda,
okay,
I wanted to mention that.
now or okay, Reese, can you send Brody, who's being seen today, through Teams?
Yeah, I'm trying to get the list up. I'm sorry, I'm on my phone. It's not cooperating.
You're fine. Okay. While we do that, is there a motion to approve last week? Oh, Whitson.
President voting.
So noted at 6:07 p.m. Okay, is there a motion to approve last meeting's minutes? Sandlin.
Motion to, so moved.
Okay. Approval of the agenda. Take a look at today's agenda, and then I'll take a motion. Chair Campbell.
President voting.
Noted at 6:08. Chair Temple.
Move to approve tonight's agenda.
There's been a motion to approve tonight's agenda. Are there any objections? Seeing none, tonight's agenda stands approved. Open forum.
Wait, I object. Sorry. I just still don't see it. I don't know if it might just be my screen.
Do we have to approve it? Do we have to, or?
I think since we're voting on it, we do need to put it in the first, but I'm not sure. Brody might have a better answer.
Yeah, you have to approve it to go on. You can
Okay.
always change it to add the names later if we don't have it.
Okay, we'll just wait a little bit before we approve it then. Thanks, Pro Tempore DeMarla. And Brody, quick question. I can't remember. Did we dismiss Senator Moore to Senate meetings ago? I'm probably gonna have to check. Because, okay, I'll double check. Because I heard them in the roll call, yeah. Mm. I think it's only Moore and Yusuf Ferry. That's it. Yeah. Cantrell like a while ago. Yeah. Brown.
Present and voting.
At 6:10 p.m. Yep, we dismissed them. So, yep, I will just erase it from today's agenda then. Ms. Senator Patel,
Present voting.
noted at 6:13 PM. Senator Kairos,
Present and voting.
so noted at 6:13 PM. Senator Hochfelder,
Present and voting.
noted at 6:13 PM. Brody, I have a question, like for acting chair, do I have to make myself acting caucus chair for Latin Hispanic caucus, or do I just automatically just do it since I'm already on the caucus? Okay. Can I appoint myself or is that not? Okay.
Hey Reese, is it just like the first like 4 or so confirmations? That way we can just put it in the agenda and then we can add the documents later, or is it like a different order?
I have a screenshot of it that I'm trying to get to upload in the chat right now. Okay, that should be it in the Teams chat now, but I don't know if it will open.
Reese, it just looks like a symbol on my side. I don't think it's sent correctly. If
Okay,
you
we'll try
if
and crop it.
if it's easier, you can just read the names out loud to me and I can just like type them in if that's easier.
Yeah, let's try that, please. So for Senate, we have Vasquez. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so Senate is Vasquez, Raniera.
Sorry, say that one more time. Let me just pull up the last meeting's minutes so I can also just make sure that like I'm spelling these names right. Okay, yes, I got Vasquez. Did you say Carlos Vieira? That's the next
Yeah.
one?
Yeah,
Okay, who's after that?
Lazo,
Mm-hmm.
Barnett,
Mm-hmm.
and then Chief Justice would be Silva.
Okay. Is that all?
Yeah, it should be everyone.
Okay.
These are just senators. Okay. And then okay.
Sorry about that.
No problem. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then. one, two, Ooh. Okay. Alrighty, let's go back up. All right. Third time is a charm. So approval for the agenda. Is there a motion? Senator Hamid. Sorry, I didn't even look up.
Motion to approve this meeting's agenda.
There's been a motion to approve this meeting's minutes. Are there any objections? Seeing none, today's agenda stands approved. Open forum. Are there any non-senators wishing to speak during open forum? Seeing none, announcements from the student body president, President Greenaway.
Hi, Senate. I hope all is well. So this week was my first full kind of BOT. Do not disturb, sorry. Was my first like BOT committee meetings and cycles. So I kind of wanted to give like kind of an in-depth update on some of the things that were talked about and voted on, and as well as answer any questions that people may have. So I'll get started. So in terms of the Academic Excellence and Student Success Committee, something that we did was approve a legislative budget request for the construction of a Research 2 building. So that would kind of be alongside the Research 1 building that already is on campus and would, enhance research here at UCF as well as specifically for engineering majors. So that's very exciting. We approved tenure requests, conferred degrees for summer graduation, had some discussions regarding student success priorities. I made some suggestions regarding advising and centralizing resources on campus because there is, a focus on graduating students in 4 years. But if students don't have the resources that they need to succeed, they are not going to. So I think that is, of utmost priority to ensure that students are being successful here at UCF. In terms of facilities and infrastructure, there was approval for a project proposal for the new College of Nursing building in Lake Nona. So that is very exciting. Any nursing majors here at UCF, they're all moving to the Lake Nona campus. So that is really cool. There is going to be an increase for on-campus housing rental rates by 4.5%. So that money that is collected from that increase is going to go towards deferred maintenance. So that's specifically improving the outdated dorms such as Apollo and Libra. There were some concerns and discussions that we had about specifically the affordability of these on-campus options. However, that being said, even with this small increase, UCF housing is still one of the cheapest compared to other universities in the SUS, so the State University System of Florida. So I suggested that some of that money go towards as well rent relief scholarships. So students that might not be able to afford housing, put more money into that area so students can request that if necessary. I also suggested that in terms of deferred maintenance, that accessibility needs were at the forefront. I think sometimes that requests in terms of accessibility, if it's through SAS, they're put kind of on the back burner and they're not, made a priority. So I made that comment to the VP of Facilities to ensure that if they are going to have this additional funding towards deferred maintenance, accessibility needs are going to be addressed first. There was discussion regarding space on campus. So I know some senators were talking about the new space policy. And I also was initially very concerned about that as well. However, I do understand the importance of space on campus being utilized to, maximum efficiency. So another question that I posed to the VP of Facilities is asking if students can have a participation on that committee. So it's not just a bunch of adults in the room. So he was open to it. So I'm going to kind of continue having that conversation with him and making sure that students are, on the committee making decisions about space here on campus. In terms of governance, we approved the re-election of the chair and vice chair of the board. as well as approve some minor amendments to the Golden Rule, specifically adding more protections and clarification for students going through the conduct process. So more details about the BOT meeting can be found on the BOT website, as well as all of the materials. If anyone has any specific questions or wants to talk about any of the materials, please do not hesitate to reach out. And that is all from me.
Thank you, President Greenaway, for that update. Are there any questions regarding the report? Seeing none, thank you so much. Announcements from Student Body Vice President, none. Comptroller's report, President Greenaway, are you taking care of that?
Yes, I'll give the comptroller's report today. So just let me make sure I have it up. So just an update regarding that database that I know, some fiscal chairs and other people have been talking about. So Jeremy has been communicating with Dr. Posey kind of about the database. So here's kind of an update on that. So the database for fiscal year 24 probably will not be functioning until the end of July. The database had to be modified so that it would have the correct information from Workday. The modification is currently on hold as IT needs a specific report for payroll, which does not exist at this time. HRIS has been working to create a report that has the specific information that IT requires for the bulk upload into the database. And then they're waiting on that report to determine if it will work. And after IT has completed the modification, Dr. Posey must build fiscal year 24, which will take approximately 2 to 3 weeks, but she is hoping to have that completed by the end of July. So that is the update on the database. If you have any questions regarding that or anything regarding the comptroller, please do not hesitate to reach out to Jeremy. And then let me just read the CRT and FAO numbers. The CRT current account balance is $68,289.55 with a reversion rate of 0.74%. And the FAO current account balance is $14,592.06 with a reversion of 0.78%.
All right, are there any questions regarding the comptroller's report? Seeing none, thank you, President Greenaway. Attorney General's report, Attorney General Moore.
Good evening, Senate. There's not that much for me this week. I had a special session with the Admissions and Standards Committee due to the holiday coming up. And I also registered for the Student Conduct Board summer training, which I will be getting tomorrow. And I hope everyone has a wonderful 4th of July. Thank you.
Are there any questions regarding the AG's report? Seeing none, Cabinet Forum, none. Announcements from the Interim Chief Justice, none. Announcements from the Supervisor of Elections, none. Announcements from the Activity and Service Fee Committee Chair, none. Announcements from the Scholarship Committee Chair, none. Announcements from the Senate President. Good evening, everyone. This may be another shorter meeting just as last week. We only have 5 confirmations and no legislation. A final reminder to our caucuses and committees that your descriptions and FAQs are due. Your updated descriptions and FAQs are due this Saturday at 11:59 p.m. I want to send them as soon as possible to Brody because we're having like a website makeover a little bit. And then for caucus merch is included in this. So if you do not have your logo ready or anything like that, make sure you have it ready by Saturday. I need to get the orders in as soon as possible because fall is coming back up soon. Latin Hispanic Caucus will be meeting the week of July 10th to elect a new chair. If you're thinking about running for chair, please send me your resume, a PowerPoint, or any supplemental documents in order to successfully run. And caucus members, please fill out this when to meet when you can. It is also available in the caucus teams channel because I know everyone's availability shifts throughout the week, but please get it done as soon as possible. Another announcement regarding caucuses for tabling. Tomorrow I'm meeting with the LGBTQ+ caucus to create a pamphlet for their tabling efforts. They also met with the D&I coordinator to create a link tree for when they table so students can access all the resources that not only the caucus has, but other entities on campus has. So I would highly recommend caucuses to make a link tree and meet with me if you'd like to make a pamphlet to hand out to students. And that is all from me. Are there any questions regarding my announcements? Seeing none. Internal legislative assistant report, none. External legislative assistant report, none. Senate President Pro Tempore report, Pro Tempore DeMarla.
I hope everyone's doing well. I don't really have that much to update you guys on. I'm still planning for the fall and seeing how we can fill those vacancies we have in Senate. My goal is to get them all filled up, which is a pretty hefty goal, but I think I can do it. So yeah, I'm just thinking about other ways we can collaborate with other entities on campus to do that.
Are there any questions for Pro Tempore DeMarla? All right, seeing none. Deputy Pro Tempore of Legislative Affairs report, none. Deputy Pro Tempore of Senate Relations report, none. Caucus reports, APIA caucus, Chair Patel.
So this week we finalized the merge for APIA, and I would show you guys, but I can't figure out how to link it.
If you highlight wherever you want to link and then right click, it will say link and then insert link, and then you'll copy and paste the link there, and it'll link it in the text.
But this is like an image, so I don't know, like there's no link to it though. I'll figure it out.
Okay. If anything, we'll do it later and then we can refer them back to it. Okay. Sorry, I'm just attaching the materials. Thank you, Reese, for sending the materials for the confirmations. You're amazing. Black Caucus Chair Daedalus. Well, sorry, are there any questions for Chair Patel? Seeing none, Black Caucus Chair Daedalus.
Hello, everyone. I hope your day has been fine. If not, you still have a couple of hours to make it a great day. I'm not going to do my complete record. I always say it as you're taking care of yourselves, but I really hope you guys are already taking care of yourselves. I know it's still the summer. Some people are doing summer fun. Some people are doing summer struggles. Whatever your course of life is right now, I hope you're living and not surviving. In addition to my weekly reminders, make sure your meal has fruits and vegetables. I feel like I never said that. So yeah, your bare minimum 2 meals a day needs to have an ample amount of fruits and vegetables. For my caucus, if you haven't already, please fill out the when to meet for rescheduling our meeting next week. I will determine the date and time at the end of today's meeting. And then lastly, I will send a recap of what was discussed at the meeting with the D&I coordinator and Caroline by the end of this weekend. And if you have any questions based on the document, please let me know. I did let them know that I want to have as much details as possible smoothed out. So if you feel like there's a blank to whatever I put together, whatever we discussed, please let me know. I want us to have a good day for the event. I don't want us running around like headless chicken, y'all. So any questions, ask, because I want everything smoothed out. Thank y'all.
Are there any questions for Chair Daedalus? Seeing none, Disability Caucus Chair Campbell.
Hey, good evening, everyone. I'm sorry I don't have my camera on. Just today has been kind of hectic. I'm just running around doing a bunch of things at once. So I preemptively apologize for that. But today's meeting went pretty well. We actually had some folks from the Multicultural Student Center, specifically the student director and assistant student director. And then we had our D&I coordinator jump into the meeting today, and we had some great discussions there. Fortunately, I don't remember off the top of my head what events that were being shared. Vice Chair Duke, if you want to go ahead and add links to those or just mention those as part of the caucus report, please do, because I can't remember any of it. Just terrible memory. And in terms of just an update on that policy that I mentioned last week, I don't have any updates for y'all. I did reach out to the person who submitted it, and hopefully I will have more information on that by the time next week rolls around.
All right, are there any questions for Chair Campbell? Seeing none, Latin Hispanic Caucus, none, LGBTQ+ Caucus, Chair Carter.
Hey everyone, as Sierra said, we created a Linktree friendly table. So let me know if there's like any information, fiscal or otherwise, in terms of like on-campus services that would be useful to the student body. we're also in the works of event planning, so like let me know if you want to help out. And please wear sunscreen, at least SPF 30 outside and indoors if you have blinds open.
Are there any questions for Chair Carter? Seeing none, Women's Caucus, Chair Bishop.
Having a good summer. Only thing for me is that we're meeting this Monday at 5:30. So if you want to come pop out.
Are there any questions for Chair Bishop? Seeing none, unfinished business, none. Fiscal Committee caucus time, none. Fiscal Committee reports, CRT Committee, Chair Simillo.
Hey guys, so in committee on 6/12/23, that is incorrect. I'm sorry, I will change it. But in old business, we did allocation 55030 approved, and in new business allocations that were approved was 55032, 55033, 55034, 55035, 55036, and we postponed allocation 55031. Therefore, we approved 6 allocations, 0 fiscal bills, postponed 1 allocation, PPI'd 0, and denied 0. That is all.
Are there any questions for Chair Simillo? Seeing none, FAO Committee, none. ORS Committee, Chair Borges.
Hey guys, I figured out my mic. This week we had a 15-page agenda, which is a lot. So I'm sorry, Ethan, you have to take all those minutes, but I'm proud of the committee for all the great discussion. From this list, the most important thing is that we did sanction FAO 54407 at 15%, and I yield to my vice chair for Temple's treasure trove.
All right. Hey, guys. Not the first time you'll be hearing from me, but it has been a while. We did see a number of amazing photos from our committee members visiting conferences in Texas, to a number of pets and animals, to a boat trip, which looked fantastic. I'm sorry, I'm still getting used to this whole shtick of doing this, but I'll have more detailed descriptions moving forward. And I yield back.
Are there any questions, any other questions for Chair Borges or Vice Chair Temple? Seeing none, fiscal legislation, none. Internal committee reports, ENA Committee, Chair Kanawha.
So next week's ENA meeting is going to be entirely virtual, so we will not have hybrid. So if you were doing hybrid, I'm sorry, but we have to do this one on Zoom entirely. This week we interviewed for Chief Justice and Election Commission, and again, I'm sorry for the delay, and I'm really thankful for your patience. I am having a week, and that's all from me.
Are there any questions for Chair Kanawha? Seeing none. Dakira, do you want President voting? Oh, you were on Zoom and then, okay, just making sure. GAP Committee, Chair Temple.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and those who do not identify as either. I told you you wouldn't be hearing the last from me. So GAP had a very quick but rather productive meeting this Tuesday, voting on the graphic that we will use to circulate the student priority survey, which is because just, sending a link is rather boring to people, and seeing just a QR code will also be boring. I do encourage everybody, not only in the GAP committee, but also all those senators to circulate this graphic to your constituents, RSOs that you're a part of and or represent in Senate, your friends' friends, your friends' pets, so on and so forth, in order to get an accurate and representative sample from the student body and their policy preferences, so we can best address their concerns at the state legislature in the coming months. Earlier today, I and Gak Martin met with Amanda Dever of BCE to organize our plans and strategies around making Election Day an excused absence, in line with President Greenaway's and Vice President Smith's goal of making Election Day more accessible for students. And I will be meeting with Brody in the coming days to assess this plan and loop in key stakeholders as well. So Brody, if you're listening, I do apologize for any tangents I may go off on should I meet with you in the coming days. And because Tuesday is our nation's birthday, we will not be holding GAP next week. Unfortunate, but also fortunate at the same time, so we can all enjoy the beach for once. And finally, because I heard that streak of history facts was broken last week, I have 2 quick ones for you tonight. In 1956, the Federal Aid Highway Act was signed into law by Dwight Eisenhower, creating the Federal Interstate Highway System. Yes, we love Amanda. Both Amandas, although Amanda Dever is infinitely better than Chair Hurst. No offense. And finally, in 1958, the FIFA World Cup final was held between Sweden and Brazil, with the latter winning by a remarkable 5-2 scoreline. This was spearheaded by by Orey himself, Edson Narantes do Nascimento, although we all know him better as Pele, rest in peace. And also, that joke against Chair Hurst was just a joke. I do apologize if anybody took actual offense to that. That's all.
Are there any questions? Oh, Chair Hurst.
First of all, I take no offense, so don't bother. Second thing is, by the way, Ethan, that little highway fact was also used in LJR today, so you're kind of repeating a fact today. Ha.
May I respond to that?
Okay.
I was not in LJR today, Chair Hurst, so I was not aware of it. I couldn't hear you anyway, so ha!
Are there any other questions for Chair Temple? Seeing none. LJR Committee, Chair Hurst.
Hi, everybody. So as we've had some issues with the Night Connect absence request form, Vihan and Brody are going to be working on trying to figure out how to make that more accessible, if not just kind of resubmitting it if we have to make sure everyone can see it and access it whenever they need to. We saw 8 absence requests today, approved 7 and denied 1. And we will be going over Title III our next meeting, and hopefully the Attorney General can join us on Thursday of next week so we can talk about it and hopefully get some insights and answer some questions for the meeting as well.
Are there any questions for Chair Hurst regarding the LJR committee? Oh, give me 1 second. Okay, my apologies. SBA Committee Chair Hurst.
2 things. Just as an aside, for both me and Vihan, we are going to be starting to more strictly enforce the attendance rules for our committees. We've had issues with getting to quorum. So if you do not come to 2 meetings for the semester, either that be fall or summer or spring, we will be removing you. That is just as an aside. We've been kind of more stringent with those rules, but as we are trying to get quorum, we are no longer doing that. For SBA, we are hoping that we can have people come in tomorrow just to chat. Hopefully you guys can join us. I'm going to put the Zoom link in around noon tomorrow. And if you can't, that's fine. Take time for yourself, take some care. If you're stressed out about Senate, classes, whatever, my door's always open. I think that some people actually realize that I actually am never asleep. Someone emailed me at midnight last night and got a response. So if you need to talk, I'm always available.
All right, are there any questions for Chair Hurst? Seeing none. Confirmations. Is there a motion for regarding confirmations? We have 5 individuals. Hurst.
Motion for 5-minute speeches, 8-minute questioning, 7-minute debate.
There's been a motion for, wait, I'm so sorry. Say that again.
I'll fix it. 5-minute speeches, 8-minute questioning, 8-minute debate.
There's been a motion for 5-minute speeches, 8-minute questioning, 8-minute debate. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we are there. Let me grab my timer real quick. All right, first up, we have Andrea Vasquez for the College of Sciences, seat 14. Andrea, you have 5 minutes when you're ready. Are you on?
Thank you so much. Okay. Hi, members of the Senate. I hope everyone's had a great day. It is truly a pleasure to be able to speak to you all today. So as it was said, my name is Andrea Vasquez. I'm a rising junior studying biology on the zoology pre-vet track with a minor in mathematical biology. I am from South Florida, specifically Pembroke Pines, if you know, you know, and I'm currently doing an internship at the Frost Museum of Science in Miami. So that's why I can't be there with you guys physically today. They're currently doing work as an aviculturist and aquarist, so it's a lot of fun. Except when I get hurt, I like badly hurt my finger today. So I wish I was there instead of hurting my finger. But anyway, I am really excited to be able to be a candidate for a seat in the Senate for the College of Sciences. This would be my first time being an official member of student government, which is really exciting. The only things that I have been a part of with student government is the Day in the Capitol events, which I've attended for the past 2 years. The opportunity has really opened up so many doors in meeting new people, networking with so many great people, and getting a lot of new experiences, which I look forward to attending every year now. So I remember during Day in the Capitol this year, I remember telling all the people around me that I was looking to get more involved in student government, and everyone was kind of like taking that as a cue to pitch why I should join their specific branch, which was really welcoming and encouraging. So I felt really encouraged to join, and now we're here. So spoiler alert, how that ended up happening. So next I wanted to talk to you guys about my experience for the position. So I'm currently an ambassador for the College of Sciences, directly working with our dean and a lot of other department heads. And this experience has also allowed me to do a lot of networking and meeting with donors and speaking directly to constituents and seeing all the problems that the members of the College of Sciences want solved. And I'm also an ambassador for the iSTEM department, the Initiatives in STEM department, as a STEM ambassador, in which I serve to help K through 12 students. K through 12 education is a really important thing for me. I'm really inspired by all the teachers and members of faculty at the schools that I grew up in. So it's really important for me to encourage other students, especially in low income and communities around Orlando, and encourage them to pursue degrees and higher education in STEM fields, and even encouraging them to one day go to UCF. So I hope that you guys can really see my passion and all my hard work and dedication through the screen here. And with that, I yield my time. Thank you.
We are now in questioning. Are there any senators wishing to ask a question? Chair Temple and then Chair Carter.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Good evening, Ms. Vasquez. I knew you looked familiar because I remember you singing that day at the Capitol. Two questions, if I may.
Yes, of course.
That was to the speaker.
Oh,
sorry. Madam Speaker, 2 questions. So my first question is, Ms. Vasquez, is should you be confirmed tonight, what committees do you intend on sitting on?
I would really like to join the Student Body Advocacy Committee and also GAP, because, you know, the Day in the Capitol event honestly has been the event that's really called me towards joining student government as a whole. So it'd be great for me to kind of like pay that back, if anything. So yeah.
Well, then that goes right into my second question then. So seeing as you have been a participant of Day at the Capitol 2 years running now, what would you want done differently, or how would you want to take a different approach to the event as a whole?
So I really like that question. So I would say, so the first time I went, I was a freshman, and last year sophomore. So honestly, both years were completely different in my opinion, in the best way possible. No offense to whoever organized it the first year, it was still great and incredibly welcoming. But I would say, so my freshman year, I was not interviewed, and not saying that I should have been or wasn't qualified at all, but I was. But I really appreciated that there was an interview process this last year, and I attended both of the like prep sessions and info sessions for both years. But I would say welcoming more students like myself those past 2 years would really help like everyone get involved more, or even encourage students who may be too afraid to join student government to maybe even just go for one day like I did and then potentially get involved. So I would say increasing involvement from non-student government members would be great. Increasing maybe capacity would also be great. But I think the event can only go up from here. It's been increasing like positively since the past 2 years. So
Thank you, Ms. Vasquez.
yeah.
Carter.
Hi, Andrea. The
Hi.
question I have for you is, how do you believe your extracurricular experience will transfer over to student government?
So I think specifically my position as an ambassador for the College of Sciences is obviously going to be really helpful because I am aiming to be a senator for the College of Sciences. So I already have a lot of connections with our dean and a lot of the department heads there, in addition to already having spoken to our constituents and already coming in knowing a lot of the things that the constituents are asking for. Part of my goals and initiatives is including a lot of the things, kind of transferring the things that I've learned through the ambassador program onto here, kind of to, I want to say, bridge the gap between them and make sure that what we're doing in the College of Sciences ambassador program is actually being done in increasing student success and student engagement. So yeah, that would be really, I think, the most useful from my extracurriculars.
Hamid.
Hi, thank you for coming tonight. I
Thank
wanted
you.
to already talk about what committees you want to join. Are there any caucuses that you're interested in?
I am Hispanic, so honestly, the Hispanic caucus would really talks to me the most of any of them. So yeah.
Are there any other questions for the candidate? Seeing none, then I'll take a motion. Temple.
Move to debate.
A motion to move to debate. Are there any objections? Oh, Sandlin, do you object? No. Are there any objections? Okay, seeing none, we are now in debate. Temple, Sandlin, and then Carter.
She said she wanted to join GAP. She had my vote immediately, but in seriousness and beyond my giddiness, I really enjoyed how she presented herself during her speech, and more importantly, the experiences behind which she had built herself up upon before coming into student government, and most importantly, the ideas that she already had in making systems like Data Capital better, in making our methods of advocacy much better, is something that really, really stuck with me, alongside the fact that she wants to join GAP. Questionable about SBA, but definitely enjoyed that she wants to join GAP. So I will be voting for Ms. Vasquez, and I do highly encourage you all to vote for her as well.
Sandlin?
I just appreciate how the candidate has put in the time to reach out to her constituents, working with the College of Sciences, which is a very essential part of this job. And I think her answers and the rest of her experience that she laid out speaks for itself, and I will also be voting in favor.
Carter.
Sort of to echo what Temple and Sandlin have said, the candidate is very knowledgeable in terms of the campus, especially College of Sciences. She clearly has a lot of passion, even though we can't see her in person. We can see it through her resume experience, and reading through her resume, the fact that she earned her Cambridge diploma shows her hard work and dedication. So I will be voting for her, and I encourage you all to vote for her as well.
Are there any senators wishing to speak in dissent of the candidate? Seeing none. Chair Kana.
Motion to move to voting procedure.
There's been a motion to move to voting procedures. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we are now there. With a vote count of 28-0-2, congratulations, Senator Vasquez. Nice to see you again. All right. With that, we will now see Carlos Sierra for College of Engineering and Computer Science, seat 12.
Carlos, you have 5 minutes when you're ready.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, thank you. Hello, Senate. My name is Carlos. Hope everyone's having a good day. It's still 7 o'clock as we're nearing it, so whatever's been getting you down, hopefully you can get back up. But as of right now, I'm going to be entering into my sophomore year as a CCS student, going for my aerospace and mechanical undergrad. To start off, I mean, when I was going for this Senate appointment, I wasn't entirely sure at first if I wanted to enter SGA. When I was a freshman, I didn't know if SGA was something that I wanted to do, if it was something that I would be able to do well. But involving myself with the student body, involving myself with all the programs on campus, it allowed me to see that my place is within the community, and this community is something that I want to help in and to have a place in bringing it up. That's why, with the help of, talking to several people, thank you, Vihan. Vihan definitely convinced me to go for this seat. It's just something that I wanted to do at the end of the day, and that's why I'm seeking for this appointment now. In regards to experience, on campus, I'm the secretary for the UCF United Nations team. Being involved with something that's diplomatic based instead of, involving myself in something outside of STEM has allowed me to see a broader perspective of how to handle talking to other people and resolving things diplomatically. And it's through that through parliamentary procedure and through talking and debate, it's something that it allowed me to see diplomacy in a new manner. But it's also talking to the engineering students within my college, spending time, my free time in the engineering atrium and talking to all these different students allowed me to see all these different voices and all these different perspectives on the university, as well as being involved in Excel, the engineering program. I think the Excel program has allowed me to be a lot closer to a lot of the engineering students, especially the freshmen and people from my class. With that, I think it's invaluable to have this perspective. And as I've said it before, I want to have a bigger place. I want to have something bigger than me and be part of it. And that's why I'm seeking this Senate appointment. I haven't been involved with student government before, so I will be entering this with almost no prior experience to student government, but this is something that I want to learn, and this is something that I want to continue to be a part in, regardless if I get the appointment or not. So with that said, I'd like to yield back my time, and thank you for allowing me to speak to you today.
Right, we are now questioning. Are there any questions for the candidate? We'll go Sandlin, Duke, and then Daedalus.
I was just wondering if there were any caucuses or committees that you would consider joining if appointed to this position.
Well, originally, thank you for the question. Originally, I come from South Florida, Hialeah born, so I got that inner Cuban in me. So definitely the Hispanic caucus would be something it's definitely calling for me. In regards to committees, for a financial committee, I think I'd be more involved with CRT. For a non-financial committee, I'd probably go for GAP, since I see Senator Temple. But I love GAP. I love, civic involvement is important, especially for those trying to partake in student government. So yes, thank you for the question.
Who did I say next? I don't even remember.
It was me. Sandalin actually asked the question that I was gonna ask, like the exact same one. So I'll just ask a different variation of it, I guess. Within like the committees and caucuses that you're interested in joining, do you have any initiatives that you're interested in?
Yes, thank you for the question. I know for a fact initiative that I would go for with CRT is, and then if you'll excuse me for going on a sidebar. There's the Lockheed Martin's College Work Experience program, and UCF is we take part in that. But what I see is we don't even take part in the Lockheed Martin case competition, which involves many of the other engineering schools around the country. So one thing, an initiative I want to take part in with CRT is definitely push for more club involvement in these competitions nationwide, so we can get UCF's name out there.
Daedalus.
Thank you.
Bishop, your keyboard is being held down.
Sorry, my dog is like literally right next to me on my keyboard and stuff.
It's okay. Daedalus, you have your hand up. You can ask your question.
2 questions, if I may.
You may.
Thank you. Hi, Carlos. Oh, okay. What would you say? I don't know how to phrase it correctly, but what would you say your knowledge of student government was when you first entered the school and compared to now? And then the second question is, how would you encourage, whether if you did have a production in that knowledge, how would you encourage that same production in your constituents?
Hello. Thank you for the question. When I first came into UCF, I somewhat applied this this high school student government stigma to SGA, and thinking that it wasn't really anything big, that it was just a student council, if anything. But again, with more research and looking into current senators and just looking into student government as a whole, I saw that it is a larger body, and it definitely takes this massive role on campus in supporting students here and supporting students off campus. With promotion, honestly, the only thing that I would do is pass on experience and pass on this information to other prospective freshmen to think that this isn't a high school, student government. This is the UCF student government, and that they definitely play a bigger role than you might think on campus.
Reminder that we have 4 minutes left in questioning. Carter, Hamid, and then Yalaman Chile. Carter, your question.
Sorry. Hi, Carlos. Which skills do you believe, based off of your experience, would transfer to student government?
Thank you for the question. As I said, I'm currently within the Model UN United Nations Club for UCF. And within Model U Nations, we use parliamentary procedure. And as I've noticed through listening in on these motions that you guys have made, that this is something that I could definitely transfer my Model United Nations skills into student government with regards to parliamentary procedure. And it's something that I think I'll be able to pick up. Thank you.
Hamid.
Hi, I see on your resume that you are part of the First Steps program. What is something that you learned as a mentor or mentee that you believe will help you in Senate?
So definitely my mentor was Janice, but I think what lesson she taught me is that it's okay to fail. It's definitely okay to fail. As a freshman, when you're applying to all these jobs, nothing's gonna stick to the wall first. You're gonna just have to keep on trying until something sticks. And I feel like that's a good mentality to have. And I think it goes into a larger lesson that it's just not to give up. That if you want something and if you want to do it, continue to pursue it. And then over time, as your skills improve, it'll reflect and you'll be able to get whatever position you choose or want. Thank you.
Yalaman Chile.
Firstly, I would like to say present voting, and can I ask a question?
You may.
So, hey, Carlos, it's good to see you here. I know you from Model UN, and I know you're the secretary there. So, considering your extensive experience in Model UN, how has that shaped your perspectives on public policy, and how would you apply that to Senate?
Thank you for the question, Bihan. It's very nice to see a friendly face. With Model UN, you're able to see a much broader perspective with public policy and see how it affects in the long run. And even though that is just a model, it is just the Model United Nations, you can apply that same vision and you can apply that same perspective to student government, and saying that the policies you decide to go over here and the policies that you decide to debate within student government, they definitely do affect the entire student body as a whole, and that the decisions that you make here will inevitably change everything within the campus as a whole.
All righty, we have 30 seconds left. Are there any other questions? Takara?
Seeing that you're a College of Engineering Computer Science student, are there any concerns or problems you've seen as a student with your college, or you've heard from other students that you want to bring awareness to in Senate?
Thank you for the question. I mean, it's mostly the same. I hear the same thing over and over again, and it's the application to go in on many of these engineering classes. When you're registering for these classes, it's either the wait list gets very full, there's no space, it's just chaotic to enter all these different classes. So this is an issue that I want to address and hopefully, take action again, so that it is easier for these engineering students to enroll in classes better, and in fact, improve this process for the campus as a whole.
All right, question time has now elapsed. We are now in debate. Yalamanchili?
So I am very happy to see Carlos here, and I would be extremely excited to vote for him. He's an extremely hardworking individual, as someone who has engaged in engineering as his major, and in Model UN as well. He has a variety of perspectives on a variety of different issues, and so I believe he would be a good fit for Senate. In fact, I'm going to recall a story when Model UN Club was having its officer elections, and he ran for one of the positions, and it turns out the Model UN Club had not updated its constitution since 2012, and he came there with a copy of a new constitution and to modernize it. And so I thought that was really cool, and I'm sure things like that would help him be a good critic and a good examiner of current SG statutes and policies. Hopefully I would like to see him in the LJR committee, but I'm just biased. But regardless, I am very proud to vote in favor of Carlos. Thank you very much, Madam Speaker.
Samilo, then Temple.
Hi, Carlos. I will be voting in favor because not only will CRT be gaining a brilliant mind if Carlos decides to join, but also I feel like Senate will be gaining a brilliant mind. It seems like he has a lot of things outside of UCF student government that can really help us within student government. So I'd be happy to see his beautiful face in student government.
Temple.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. So I also will be voting in favor of Mr. Yetta. So because Carlos's story, of course, very much resonated with me, because I did also come into student government with Model United Nations experience coming in from high school. At the same time, I really, really, really love his outlook on Senate and what the work that we can do can impact the student body on. It resonates with me 100%. And although Yalamanchili just left, I am very much excited to see Mr. Yetta in GAP. And I yield my time.
Do we have any dissenting opinions? Seeing none, Chair Kana.
Motion to move to voting procedures.
There's been a motion to move to voting procedures. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we are now there. With a vote count of 26 to 1 to 2, congratulations, Senator Yeda.
Thank you.
All right, next up, we have Amanda Lazo for the College of Arts and Humanities, seat 1. Amanda, you have 5 minutes when you're ready.
Okay, perfect. Good evening, Senate. I'm honored with the opportunity to be here and hopefully represent the College of Arts and Humanities. As you just heard, my name is Amanda Lazo, and I'm a rising sophomore pursuing a double major in English literature and political science. And eventually, I would like to go to law school. I was raised in Miami, but me and my family are from Cuba. It's only been my first year here at UCF, so I'm still finding out about new opportunities like student government. But right now I'm in the LEAD program and I'm starting my position as a peer mentor in the fall, while also volunteering pretty much all the time at the Arboretum here on campus. Also in the fall, thank you. Also in the fall, I will begin my term as a student ambassador for the College of Sciences, representing my political science major side. I'm currently writing and editing for Her Campus, which is a magazine here at UCF that focuses on women's pop culture, experiences, politics, and like campus news in general. This has been a really great way to learn more about UCF as well as explore my more creative side. So one of the opportunities that really helped me acclimate more to UCF was actually Day at the Capitol, thank you, Temple, where I spoke with Florida politicians to protect students and my civil rights. And it's actually because of Day at the Capitol I felt inspired and encouraged by some members of student government to apply. I really want to help my fellow students, especially because in such a big school, it can be really easy to feel like your voice is being drowned out. I would be more than honored to represent the College of Arts and Humanities. One, because as a kid growing up, I didn't really know that much English, so the arts helped me find my place in this country, and I want to give back to the arts that just helped me so much. The other reason is a lot of the programs in the arts, like history, music, literature, and the humanities, like in general, are some of the first to be attacked by budget cuts and political agendas, but they are just as important and necessary as any other major. And I want to help protect students' rights to be a proud arts and humanities major. While I'm still not too sure like how initiatives are drafted or how they work within the legislative branch, I am still 100% sure that I want to draft resolutions that further protect student rights against bills like House Bill 7 here in Florida, but also aim to protect funding just for all student majors and RSOs here at UCF. After learning about caucuses within the Senate, I also aim to be part of the Latin Hispanic caucus and just really provide for more programs here within UCF to connect members of the Latino communities with opportunities that they may not know that they have, or provide a voice for them and to create a welcoming environment. So while I may not have prior legislative branch experience, I am incredibly eager to learn and work with the Senate, which I believe will help me grow both personally and professionally. Thank you, and I yield my time.
We are now in questioning. We're now in period of time of questioning. Are there any questions? We have Temple, Sandlin, then Carter.
All right, thank you, Madam Speaker. Good evening, Amanda. Oh boy, another one. So I suppose I don't really need it. 2 questions, if I may. Might as well. Sierra, 2 questions, if I may.
Okay.
Thank you. My first question is, just to clarify, what committees did you want to join? Should you be appointed to Senate tonight?
Well, committees, one would be GAP, but I'm also really looking at ENA elections and also student body advocacy. They really kind of just speak to me more than just the GAP side, which would be a lot of like political stuff, whereas student body and ENA, you really get to see more of UCF. In ENA, you would get to like hear all these stories when you're doing all these interviews and such, so that would be really important for me. And then obviously student body advocacy, love being a voice. It's always been something I've done in high school, and now I want to keep doing that in college.
All right. And then my second question would be then, how do you intend on using this platform should you be appointed to Senate? And what what unique initiatives do you intend on bringing into Senate?
Well, initiatives, I'm not too sure as to how they work. I'm not sure if it's just, I have an idea for this and I want to do that. So while as I learn more about how Senate works, I would like to introduce things that really protect certain majors like African American histories and stuff like that, protect those kind of classes. But on a broader scale, I just want to provide better advising opportunities for students. I've heard that's something that across the board, a lot of colleges may struggle with within UCF. And it is such a big school, I understand. It can be hard for multiple advisors to see everybody. So I would just want to provide maybe some sort of programs or some sort of initiatives that can make it easier for everybody to feel like, okay, I'm getting help.
Right. Thank you.
Thank you for coming today. How did you initially hear about Day at the Capitol, and what about it drew you to participate?
I had a friend that she was in Executive Leadership Council, and she was like, hey, student government's doing this. You're very politically orientated. Why don't you try and apply? And I was like, I'm not going to get in, but I applied just to be like, here you go, I did this. And then boom, there I was. They were like, come in, come do it. And I was like, oh my God, wow. And then obviously I get there. That was an amazing opportunity. Very intimidating at first, but as you get there, you kind of start rolling with it. And it's just amazing, once in a lifetime opportunity. Would love to do it again.
Carter?
Hi, Amanda. May I ask 2 questions?
You may.
My first question is, how do you believe your journalism experience would transfer over to Senate, especially when being in contact with RSOs?
I feel because her campus really isn't just women's politics, you have to really know a lot about UCF. That kind of has brought me out of my shell. So I'm going to certain shows that I wouldn't have gone before. I'm talking to students in other colleges that I wouldn't have talked to before. So I feel like you really get the opportunity to learn more about other, sorry, my nose trilogy, to learn about other colleges that you wouldn't have. So through those connections, through those other people that I've met, I feel like I can bring whatever they're saying to me, I can bring that to Senate and hopefully learn more from them.
Thank you. And then my second question, I know you're not that knowledgeable in terms of resolution proclamations. That's completely okay if you don't answer this. How would you go about possible actions when protecting the arts and humanities when resolutions are drafted?
Well, I can't answer that 100%. I do know that recently against, I believe it was House Bill 7, the Senate just passed something that would really aim to protect all these majors that were being attacked by that DeSantis bill. So while I can't really answer that in 100% confidence, I would really want to perform resolutions and initiatives that kind of echo that, really just protecting all those students and their RSOs.
Are there any more questions for the candidate? Seeing none, I'll take a motion. Temple?
Move to debate.
A motion to move to debate. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we are now there. Any senators wishing to speak in debate? Carter?
Sorry. Amanda seems really knowledgeable in terms of the campus, especially with their past journalism experience. And as well, based off the answers they gave me, it was really refreshing to hear them say, like, I can't give you a completely confident answer, but we're willing to answer and at least have some idea of what they want to do, which is completely okay, given that most of us are newer to Senate, so we aren't exactly that knowledgeable when it comes to these resolution proclamations. And also they love the arts and humanities, so I would definitely be voting for them. I encourage you all to vote for them as well.
Temple?
All right. Like Chair Carter, I will be voting in favor of Amanda, because not least because their experiences. Sorry, loud noises outside my house. Anyway, so Amanda has very much proven that she is very capable of speaking on policy and political matters, which I'm very excited to see her experience in. And moreover, I very much am excited to see them try to help develop a better way to have students advocate in a Day at the Capitol. So I cannot wait to see Amanda in Senate, and I encourage you all to vote for them.
ELA Richmond.
Amanda seems more than qualified. I'm excited to see what she does. She already has an idea of initiatives she wants to do, so I'll be voting in favor.
Are there any other senators wishing to speak in debate? Seeing none, Chair Kanal.
Motion to move to voting procedures.
There's been a motion to move to voting procedures. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we are now there. Mhm. All right, with a vote count of 28-0 to 2, congratulations, Senator Lazo. It's nice to see you again, Amanda. I wouldn't have expected it to be in student government, so that's so awesome that you're here with us.
Thank you.
Of course, yes. Next up, we have Tyler Barnett for the College of Sciences, seat 7. Tyler, you have 5 minutes when you're ready.
I appreciate it. Good evening, senators. I appreciate your time for listening to me and listening to everyone else as well. I'm a person who, well, let me first start. I'm a rising sophomore. I'm a pre-law student major, and I'm gonna minor in entrepreneurship. I'm a rising sophomore. My first year here, I found that being here, it was an amazing experience. I'm not only part of UCF Hillel and now just been appointed as a position for Greek life representative, as well as I am part of Greek life, part of Phi Delta Theta fraternity. I've learned from my experiences that it's all important about being a leader, being someone that can be kind to others and want to help others get involved and encourage them to reach for success. So with that, I plan on joining the SBA, the Student Body Advocacy Committee. And the reason why I find it so important to be the voice of the underdogs, the voice that people are scared to talk about, things that and worries that they're not able to really speak out on. And I want to be their voice and help fight for change. As well as I want to be part of a caucus as well, and that is a disability caucus. From someone that does suffer from a learning disability, our SAS office, Student Accessibility Services, puts up barriers and perimeters that don't really need it. And I think there's ways that I will be able to not only use that advocacy program, committee, but to help voice my concerns. Because I feel like as a person that does deal with this, it puts up barriers and stuff that doesn't give us an equal fair chance of being successful as everyone else. And with that, I also want to strengthen Greek life and UCF community as a whole relationship because I find it so important for everyone to get involved because in college, let's all face it, it's hard. You can get lost very easily and it can be scary at times and nervous, but if you get involved and join the SGA or Greek life or any other clubs, I'm telling you, you will find at least something that will help make your experience amazing. And I had an amazing first year experience and can't wait for my next 3 years. And with that, I yield my time. I will also like to appreciate everyone that's on Zoom and in person for listening to me. Thank you.
All right, we are now in questioning. Are there any senators wishing to ask a question for the candidate? Chair Campbell, and then we have Chair Hurst.
Yeah, so I'm asking this as another disabled person here in student government, specifically in Senate. Again, you do not have to answer this if you do not want to. I'm asking more to satisfy my own curiosity and to see if we have any overlaps in this regard. Is it all right if I ask you what learning disability do you have? And if you're not comfortable with it, you do not need to share it all.
I mean, I'm not afraid about sharing it, and I appreciate the question. I suffer from ADD, so when it comes to learning, I can get very overwhelmed with a lot of moving parts, and it takes sometimes a little harder for me to process some things. But I always work 10 times harder to make sure I can get through it, and I've learned to overcome fears and struggles, and I've learned that there's things that I want to present with knowledge on my learning disability and others that I've learned along the way that I can bring and help make sure every student at our great university has a chance to be successful as everyone else. Thank you.
Thank you
very much.
Hi again, Tyler. So
Hi.
I know we discussed this during ANA like 2 weeks ago. You wanted to work with SAS and trying to fix the system a little bit because it is a little bit hard for people to get through it.
Yes.
As you have experienced the system and you know kind of some of the problems that it has, what are certain things you want to try and fix within the system that we can help you with in SBA or at Disability Caucus?
Thank you for the question. One thing I for sure want to do is help change the website. I find the website to be extremely frustrating because when you try to schedule an exam or whatever, you have to go through all these hoops, gotta press the classes, do this, do that, and even though you're in the 7-day period, you won't be able to get your extra time that you deserve and you have the right to receive. I think that's not unacceptable. And I think if you have a learning disability and you have the right to extra time or take a test in the office or anything, there should not be any time period. I feel like they put up that barrier for no reason, and I feel like I will be able to change it. And I think being part of student body advocacy committee, it will allow me to voice that and allow to voice my concerns and other people's concerns that deal with the same issue.
Chair Yalom and Chili and then Chair Carter.
Thank you for being here, Mr. Barnett. You did speak about how you believe that there must be better relations between student government and Greek life. One thing that I have always been concerned about is the lack of accessibility to Greek life, especially for those students who don't have connections or for those students who are poor and may not be able to pay the dues that many fraternities and sororities require. And so on behalf of I guess, working class students on this campus, I would have to ask you this question. What do you think can be done to make Greek life more, accessible and affordable to the everyday student and not just those who are well off and well connected?
I appreciate the question. And the answer to that, I'll say this. The way that I think I'll be able to help strengthen the connections and make it more accessible for all students, no matter who you are, money, no money, all that, is to put yourself out there. There's so many clubs and so many connections that you can get and receive. We could post stuff on the SGA Instagram. We could post stuff on, I know IFC is posting stuff nonstop. And that's one of the biggest things. And I feel like if we strengthen and help support it, IFC, and help present more of what they are posting, I feel it'll make it easier for all kids to see, be like, all right, there's a kickoff coming up. Maybe I should come and check it out and see what's all about. And maybe see if I can find a group of friends that I can relate to and have interest. And on terms of paying and dues and all that stuff, the simple answer I could say is it is difficult. Don't get me wrong. And if you're on your own, you don't got a lot of money, it could be so difficult. But I know, and I can speak for this on all fraternities, there's always a payment plan that you can do that is accessible for every student, where you don't have to put all the money in at one time, and you could just pay it at a nice, easy rate that you're comfortable paying. And no fraternity would back you down and be like, all right, you cannot pay that. You cannot do that. That wouldn't be the case. And that's the thing that I would try to push for, another way for students to join and absolutely be able to pay with the time that they'll be able to pay at and the amount of money they would pay at. Thank you for the question.
Carter?
Hi, Tyler. My question for you is, with your involvement in impact Greek life had on you, how do you believe this will transfer over into Senate, the UCF administration, dealing with RSOs and the student body?
I appreciate that question. So, as we just elected as new student body president and vice president, I know one of their goals in their campaigns is to strengthen the relationship. And as a person that's now a rising sophomore, one of the big things that reminded to me that really stuck to me is leaving your legacy. And that's my biggest thing. I want to leave my legacy and help establish change and help push for things that we weren't able to have before and make them now able. And with all the committees and everything, I know for a fact that I will be able to help strengthen the relationships of the Greek life and UCF community. And it's all in terms of just pushing for what you want. I know as a person like me, I could say I'm a leader. I like to be the change. I like to voice in my concerns and everything. And hopefully, if I do get appointed, I'll be able to voice everything that I want and everything that others people have told me personally that I can help put in effect. Thank you.
Are there any other questions for the candidate? Seeing none, I'll take a motion. Hurst,
Move to debate.
there's been a motion to move to debate. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we're now there. Are there any senators? Chair Hurst?
So as we saw, Tyler in ENA and as well today, they are very passionate about working with Disability Caucus and SBA to work on SAS issues. I find that very noble. I'm happy to work with them on whatever they decide they want to work on, and I will be voting in favor.
Senator Lazier and then Senator Whitson.
Hello. So I'm a member of Phi Delta Theta as well as IFC. So I've known Barnett for a little while, so I will be abstaining my vote. But as a newer member, he's taken extreme initiative in getting involved in all aspects of representing our community. And I think there's definitely strength with that, showing that he knows not only, though he might not know everything, he knows where to find the answers and he knows how to get involved. And I think that initiative is a great thing to see in a senator. And just as a side comment, because I also am involved in Greek life, we have a bunch of different chapters that have a bunch of different price ranges. So I will say, like, fraternities are completely accessible to everyone. You just got to be able to go out and look. But that's my last comment. I'm saying my vote, and I think Barnett should get this position.
Whitson?
Hey, I just wanted to say that I'll be voting in favor. I thought his speech was fantastic and he sounded extremely determined, which is really what you want in a senator. So yeah, I'll be voting in favor.
Are there any senators wishing to speak in debate? Other senators? DeCara?
As also a member of Greek life, it's very nice to see someone who's also very passionate about creating the growing the bond between also just student government and Greek life, but also this Greek life growing as a whole at UCF. As I was also one of the few things I did when I was running for my Senate seat was that I talked about how I want to grow that connection, and also having the president and now vice president being part of fraternities, it's slowly growing more and more. But the passion you have for that and the other things other than just Greek life is very important. So I'll be voting in favor.
Are there any dissenting opinions? Seeing none, Chair Kana.
Motion to move to voting procedures.
There's been a motion to move to voting procedures. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we are now there. With a vote count of 27 to 1 to 5, congratulations, Senator Barnett. Next up, we have Gabriela Polera for College of Sciences, seat 9. Gabriela, you have 5 minutes when you're ready. Oh, you're here. Awesome. She is in person.
Can everyone hear me on Zoom?
They said yes.
Okay. Good evening, Senate. Once again, my name is Gabrielle Polera. I hope you're all having an amazing week. I stand before you all today asking for your consideration and confirming me to seat 9 for the College of Sciences. First and foremost, I want to sincerely thank all of you guys for not just being here today, but for the work that you do for the student body and serving everyone. I also want to thank you all for your time today. It's greatly appreciated. It's a pleasure to speak to you all today and express my desire to serve in the UCF Senate. I'm currently a rising junior with an anticipated graduation of spring 2025. I'm a psychology major on the clinical track with a minor in legal studies and then pursuing a certificate in litigation advocacy. I was born and raised in New Jersey, but I moved to the Orlando area about 6 years ago. And I'm proud to call this place my home, as this community has afforded me lots of opportunities to grow and unleash my potential. Lots of diverse experiences to develop my leadership, communication, teamwork, and time management skills. In high school, I had the honor to volunteer for Teen Court, which is part of the Prosecution Alternatives for Youth program, as a volunteer jury member and defense attorney. Through working to help youth improve their behavior and reduce local recidivism, this insightful experience instilled in me a passion to advocate for others, particularly those who feel unheard or ignored in their communities. After choosing to attend this wonderful institution that I now call home, I was met with a plethora of opportunities to get involved to help me unleash my potential. Last year, I joined the mediation team, which I currently serve as the president of. Through competing in other states with many students from other universities, I represented UCF well in how I treated my competitors during and after the tournament. I also volunteered at Boys Town Central Florida, which is a nonprofit that assists children and temporarily houses them, children that either don't have parents or have been separated from their parents because they've broken the law. I served as a mentor and a resource for an amazing group of girls. Last year, I also started working at the Dean's Office for the College of Community Innovation Education, both at this campus and the downtown campus. Through that job, as well as my current job at the Office of the President, I have the responsibility of being the first face that guests see, which forms their first impression of UCF. UCF has also helped me to unleash my potential through the Legislative Scholars Program, which I participated in last semester. I worked at the Florida Senate for the Florida Senate President Pro Tempore. During my time in Tallahassee, I learned about servant leadership. I witnessed firsthand how state elected officials on both sides of the aisle work together to represent their communities and their constituents. I was able to see how, although they may have disagreed on methods to accomplish their goals, they all had the same goals to serve, protect, and lead their communities and constituents. That internship actually inspired me to run for UCF Senate. These experiences, along with many others, have fulfilled and continue to fulfill my desire to lead others and give back to the communities that have given so much to me, those being the UCF and Orlando communities, 2 places which I'm happy to call home. In short, I believe that I'm a great candidate for this position. I'm driven and committed to putting the best interests of the students at the forefront of my decisions. I care about Knight Nation deeply because I understand and recognize that serving in the UCF Senate is a distinct privilege. I have spent time investing in myself to be adequately prepared to serve the student body. I have lots of experiences representing UCF as a whole and learning the university processes externally by being a welcoming face for the university for community partners, elected officials, and students across the country. Now I aspire to work internally and represent students, prioritizing every night's student experience. It would be an honor to represent the College of Sciences as a UCF Senator. Thank you again for your time. I appreciate your consideration and I yield the remaining time.
We're now in line for questioning. Senator Hamid, Chair Carter.
Hi, thank you for being here tonight. I wanted to know, is there any committees and or caucuses that you would like to join if you become a senator?
Thank you for the question. I'm interested in joining LJR, GAP, and the Hispanic Latino Caucus.
Carter, then Yalom and Chile.
Hi, you mentioned your certificate and legal advocacy, as well as you talked about UCF experience, as well as your extracurriculars. How would you go about advocacy between the student body and administration?
Thank you for the question. I really would like to prioritize every night's student experience. And so through that, some of the initiatives that I have, I want to work on prioritizing open communication between the dean and the students for the College of Sciences. So I would like to work with the College of Sciences ambassadors, as well as College of Sciences has 70,000 active alumni. So I would like to collaborate with them to work to best support the students. So I'd be interested in talking to alumni about problems that they felt student government maybe didn't adequately address, or problems that weren't addressed at all. So I'd be interested in working with alumni for that, with the ambassadors, talking to the dean just to help the students connect to the dean, and then increasing awareness about the forum that's online, where students can just fill out the form, and then their concerns will be addressed by the committee. So I didn't even know that that form existed. So I would like to just spread more awareness about that. Also, the mental health resources offered on campus. As a legislative scholar, I learned about the UCF Restores program, which I didn't know, being a psych major, the programs in the psychology building. And so that's a problem that I've just heard from different College of Sciences students, just about not knowing about the resources that are offered for mental health. So those are just some of my initiatives.
Chair Yalom and Chile.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and thank you for being here. As the chair of the LJR committee, I'm very excited to see that you're planning on joining the LJR committee. So, and two questions, if I may. So my first question is, what excites you about LJR? And my second question is, you said you worked in the state legislature as part of the Legislative Scholars Program. So surely you know of the plenty of horrible bills that the Florida State Legislature passed this past session. And do you have any plans of advocating for communities that might be hurt by such bills?
Thank you very much, Senator, for both of those questions. So to address your first question, excuse me, when looking at all of the committees that are offered in student government, I'm just very interested in representing the students more, addressing their concerns, trying to solve their problems, excuse me. In regards to the bills that were passed by the state legislature, through my time in Tallahassee, I was able to make a lot of connections with both senators and representatives on both sides of the aisle. And so I really value those connections, and I'd be interested in working with those legislatures to have more events on campus, and just to make sure that students, that their voices are being heard by the legislators.
Chair Borjas.
Two, if I may.
Okay.
Yeah, so the first one is, I think when I was CRT chair, we funded your RSO to go to a conference in Iowa. Sorry. Did you end up going to that conference?
Thank you, Senator, for the question. I did not go to that conference. I went to a different tournament that was in Georgia.
Awesome. My second question is just related to, I guess, RSOs and funding. Just how do you plan to make sure not only your RSO, understands Senate's funding, but also maybe all RSOs, and work with us to expand that knowledge?
Can you repeat the question?
Yeah. So basically, as an RSO president, you're financially trained, and all senators have to be as well. And a lot of what we do here is funding as well as advocacy in other ways. How do you plan to help us, spread our, I guess, knowledge of the funding that we give?
I think definitely through spreading more awareness about it on social media. I was very scared coming into the president position, not knowing much about how to advocate for the funding with student government. And so that's something that I've been working with the mediation team and talking to other RSOs about. And so I think, yeah, just collaborating with other RSOs about their funding, and then posting more about social media, about the process of the financial training and how to ask student government for the funding.
Are there any other questions for the candidate? Seeing none. Oh, Sandlin.
Just going back to what you said about in regard to Senator Yalamanchili's question about the recent legislation passed. I appreciate the sentiment you gave about making sure the legislature hears the voice of the students. I was just wondering if there were any personal concerns you had regarding recent legislation.
Thank you for the question. Yes, after just talking to more students about how they feel and about their fears about the ramifications about the legislation that has been passed, I think that it would just be important to just again talk to the legislators, host more events at UCF so that they can really hear from us. And then I would look forward to joining the GAP committee if I was to be confirmed, working on the legislative priorities, and then just doing my best when I go to Tallahassee. If I were to go for UCF Day at the Capitol, I'd just definitely be interested in talking to more students about their thoughts about things that we could be doing, things that we could talk to the legislature about. After hearing about their thoughts, I just definitely want to work to help them have a better state of mind and just to comfort them ways that I can better support them.
Yalamanchili.
So as somebody who went to Day at the Capitol last year, I can share my experiences in that UCF did advocate against many of the bills that the legislature was proposing, such as restrictions on gender affirming care, the bans on abortion, and the restrictions on higher education, so on and so forth. From what I gathered, that was not particularly successful in its advocacy, as the legislature passed all of its most extremist bills that we were advocating against. And additionally, the legislators did not seem particularly interested in hearing the voices of UCF students. UCF students have also done much and protested to show how much they object to these kinds of legislation that is being passed. So outside of talking to legislators, what do you think can student government do to advocate for students on these issues?
Thank you for the question. I'm not sure I can answer that in 100% confidence, but I would be interested in working together with the GAP committee and then talking to the legislators that I was able to meet and connect with in Tallahassee. So I would just be interested in learning more about that and trying to do my best to help support the student body.
Chair Hurst, and I just want to remind, let's not ask about personal political opinions, but keep it on the same strain of what they're going to do to support their constituents. Chair Hurst.
Just a point of clarification, for Day at the Capitol the last time it was done, a lot of the bills that were being talked about had already been either voted on or passed at that point. So talking about legislators wasn't really doing a lot, unfortunately, as it already been happening. My question to you actually is towards the advocacy you'd want to do and educating for students. Is it more towards tabling? Is it more towards having events, more towards social media? What would be the primary source of getting information out to students?
Thank you for the question, Chair Hurst. I definitely think tabling and social media.
All right, question time has now elapsed. We are now in a period of debate. Are there any senators wishing to debate? Hurst.
The candidate seems to know a lot about what she's talking about, is very passionate about trying to give education to our students and make sure they are aware of things so they're not kept out of the loop and in the dark. And I appreciate that, because the biggest thing that we have we can use to our advantage is having knowledge. And if we don't have knowledge, we're kind of left in the dark, and that's not a good thing for our students or for student government members or for citizens of this country. So I'll be voting in favor of this candidate.
Are there any other senators wishing to speak in debate? Seeing none, Chair Kana.
Motion to move to voting procedures.
There's been a motion to move to voting procedures. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we are now there. Oh, okay. With a vote count of 29 to 1 to 2, congratulations, Senator Poletta. Chair Butler.
Present and voting.
Noted at 7:48 p.m. I just wanted to ask Senator Davis, did you just come in a few moments ago, or did you just re-enter? Senator Davis?
He's a justice.
Oh, what? I'm so sorry. I literally saw him come into Zoom and I'm like, wait, what? My apologies.
It's been a day for you, hasn't it?
It has. It really has. Lord. Okay. I get it. I'm connecting the puzzle pieces. Coming to support you. That's what it is. Coming through Zoom? You're remember this one. Remember this one. Up next is Elizabeth Silva for Chief Justice. Elizabeth, you have 5 minutes when you're ready.
All right. Good evening, Senators. My name is Elizabeth Silva, and I'm here today in hopes of being confirmed as the Chief Justice of the Judicial Branch. My student government journey all began when I decided to DM the Deputy Chief of Staff at the time, asking how to get involved. Little did I know that that same girl would soon be one of my coordinators in the Student Government Leadership Council. I immediately fell in love with the judicial branch and dedicated all of my free time to getting involved and was soon skipping classes if they interfered with any Jay with the Justices events. Not condoning that behavior. But I got on the branch soon after and the rest is history. I love the work that we do and the way that we go about it. The reactive nature of our branch allows us to further communicate and support students on another level, and that's my favorite thing about it. I'm grateful for those who helped make the judicial branch a home for me when I first joined, and I hope I do a good job with the continuity of those efforts because every justice deserves to have that experience. I'm also grateful for those on the branch this past year who continue to motivate me and make me do my best and support students through our various services. Lastly, I want to give a huge thanks to the people in the gallery that are here to support me, as well as those who are supporting from the live stream and the Zoom, especially my mom, my dad, my grandma, and brother. Muchas gracias por todos los sacrificios que han hecho y siguen haciendo por mí. Le debo el mundo. Thank you for listening, and I yield my time to questioning.
Are there any senators with questions? Temple?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Good evening, Ms. Silva. It's weird seeing you from Zoom, but nevertheless, my one question for you tonight is, since you were the prior Chief Justice, how do you intend on improving upon the work that you've done the last time you've held this position?
Right. So the biggest thing that I've learned from, I guess, like the 2 months that I was already in the position was kind of to pick your battles and fight with them accordingly. So I feel like a lot of the times I would get really frustrated with certain things if a parking appeal didn't go as well as I wanted to, and I really wanted to give that person a piece of my mind so they understand why we voted the way that we did. It's better to just relax, take it back, because at the end of the day, it's just our job and we have to do what we have to do. So yeah, I think just picking my battles.
Hochfelder?
Hi, what's one role model that like speaks to you on like a moral philosophical level that you think informs the decisions you would make in this role?
Right. So I think I'm just gonna say my mom. I think my mom has always showed me that integrity is a very big thing, just for me, and especially in this role. integrity teaches us that the price that we pay for compromising our morals is higher than what we would gain from compromising our morals in the first place.
Are there any other questions, DeKara?
It's gonna be, is it okay if it's two? It might be one, depending on how she answers it.
Mhm.
And your goals for the position, you mentioned about reinstating Title IX advising. Can you elaborate more on that?
Right. So one of the reasons that my predecessor, Chief Justice Kerr, took it away in the first place was, and it's completely understandable, was just that a lot of the people that were coming for Title IX advising were those who may be accused of the Title IX violation. So he didn't feel comfortable with those cases. And I think that it's important to recognize that, but also recognize that Title IX is extremely important to the university. And there's really no other place on campus where if someone is in need of Title IX advising, isn't an adult who's subjected to having to report that to the police. And a lot of the times people don't want that. A lot of the times people just want support and someone to talk to if they're going through that. So I feel like it's important to reinstate it.
Could do the follow-up. So because of like, what do you want to do to avoid? So it's like, sometimes things become uncomfortable, the accused are the ones, the accuser or the accused, both sides are coming up. Like, how do you ensure that both the justices that are doing the advising are, not kind of put in this like weird position where they are uncomfortable and we don't, like we make it a safe space, especially with Title IX, how important it is to the school and to the students. How do you want to make sure that, it is kept safe and how we keep it, instead of like how the past predecessor removed it?
Right. So I want to make it almost like a full-blown campaign, like kind of like, I guess, how we would do like a TikTok, just making it known that we can, if uncomfortable, not see you. So I know that it was already kind of like how we do impartial advising. If we're uncomfortable with seeing you for advising, then we just say that and we just won't see you. But I want to make it known, like, I guess, through all of our services. And also I would like to work with Senate to see if there's any way that we can make like a clause so that to make sure that it's very clear and people that are applying for our advising know that before they go into it.
Hurst,
Just two questions, if I may,
you may.
depending on how the other question is. Sorry, my brain is malfunctioning. With the seal change you wanted to do, can you elaborate as to the reasoning behind wanting to change the seal?
Right. So it's been talked about in the past, but the main reason that I wanted to change it is to utilize, I don't know if you've seen the judicial seal before. It's, I don't think I put it in my materials, so you may not have seen it. Yeah. I brought it to ENA. I don't know if, okay, awesome. So sorry to the rest of you that didn't get to see it. I can obviously hopefully if it's approved. Yeah.
It's just a pair of scales. It's very blank.
Yeah. So the first scale, it doesn't have a lot of, I guess it doesn't utilize the empty space very well. And I also feel like changing it to Lady Justice, where she's holding the scale and the sword, playing kind of into the sword of UCF. And also it's more intentional with the olive branch as well, because the olive branch symbolizes peace. And then Lady Justice with her sword symbolizes like punishing injustices and stuff like that. So one, it's more intentional. Two, it's just more visually appealing, I think. And it just utilizes that empty space better.
I forgot the other one. Never mind.
Okay. Are there any other senators wishing to, DeKara?
Sorry, again. About your relationship with the Attorney General, you mentioned about like how you would want to work with their initiatives. What is this initiative of the Attorney General that you specifically have like in mind that you want to start with first?
Right. So I've already started talking to Attorney General Madison Moore about making our impartial advising, because as a judicial advisor to the executive branch, they also participate in impartial advising. And I just wanted to make sure that we were working together with that. I've also already asked them to come to our judicial retreat for the summer and possibly for the fall, just depending on what we do. But yeah, I just want more overlap on like the cases that we see.
Are there any other questions for the candidate? Seeing none, if not, I'll take a motion. Hurst, move to debate. There's been a motion to move to debate. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we are now there. Are there any senators wishing to speak in debate? DeKara, and then Yalom and Chile.
Based on how the questions were answered, it clearly shows that you have your initiative set out, you have your goals set out, you clearly know what you want to do. It's very important. What spoke my mind was the Title IX part, especially being a victim of something of that. It's very important that I could have had something like that. And ensuring that other students are available to that service is very important. And I know it's sometimes you get the accused, it's the problem. It's like you get both sides and it's just how it is. But it's great knowing that there's someone who is looking out for students like me, or now it's extent like also looking the Senate for that stuff too. But overall, like, you know, your goals are set out, and it's very important that I get to see it instead of where I just saw a resume. But all in all, I'm voting in favor.
Yalman Chili, then Hurst.
So I believe in Elizabeth because she's a hard worker. I've seen that while she was a justice who led the SGLC program and the JLC program. She worked very closely with Sage, and she has been interim Chief Justice for a while now. So I'm sure that she knows the in and outs of the jobs of being Chief Justice. And additionally, I thought it was a really good idea to bring back Title IX advising, considering that it would be very helpful for those who might want to seek advising or have somebody to talk to if they were facing any sort of victimization and other sorts of harmful actions that Title IX covers. And so I think that's a great idea that helps potential victims. And I'm happy, and I would vote in favor of Elizabeth as Chief Justice, and I encourage you all to do the same. Thank you.
Hurst.
All of the candidates' initiatives, I believe, are going to be helpful to not only judicial, but also to Senate as a whole. Reinstating Title IX will be helpful to make sure that students have that ability to use that service, as it is important to them. And it's not just adults that they're talking to, because that can be uncomfortable, as the candidate has said before. Also trying to make sure that workshops are done in a way that makes sure that justices actually know the material, so they're not just kind of going on a whim before their different proceedings, is also important. So I'll be voting in favor.
Are there any senators wishing to speak? Wishing to express a dissenting opinion? Hochfelder, is that a dissenting opinion?
No.
With that, Chair Kanal.
Motion to move to voting procedures.
And a motion to move to voting procedures. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we are now there. With a vote count of 32 to 1 to 2, congratulations, Chief Justice Silva. With that, we are done for the day. However, can our new senators can our new senators put in the chat what committees and caucuses they would like to join? You only have to sit on at least one committee. Excuse me. But you can join you can join up to 2 committees, right? Max. 2 committees max. 1 at least by judicial. Have a great evening. And then you can join as many caucuses as you want, but please be responsible and not drown yourself. Thank you. I'm not saying make it quick, but it is 8 o'clock and we're pretty early. So,
Sierra, really quickly, for the senators who were just confirmed, please join the breakout room. Yeah, so you can get sworn in. Yeah.
Okay.
And then once they've done that, Akila will explain some things, and then you can jump back and do everything else that Sierra just said.
Great. So internal legislation, none. Senate forum, are there any senators wishing to speak during Senate forum? Chair Borges?
Yeah, hi. Another fast meeting, which we all love fast meetings. But I'd love to see legislation written, changing some things. I know that a lot of people kind of said it was a bad thing that I wrote the most legislation last session. But if you guys don't start writing it, I'll start writing more. If you guys want ideas, I can just give them to you. If you guys have any ideas and don't know how to go about it, I can help. So yeah.
Thank you for extending that, Chair Borges. A lot of, I'm pretty sure it's more like a nerve thing and they don't know how to go about it. So thank you for leading that. That's really great. And you could also, I would definitely reach out to Chair Borges. He's written a lot of legislation, also Pro Tempore DeMarla, SBA. There's a lot of returning individuals that you can reach out to. So thank you, Chair Borges. Hurst?
Just to add to that, we are starting to work on some proclamations and resolutions as of next week for SBA. We're going through and trying to make some monthly calendar stuff. And I will be trying to work with LJR to try and work on some things for statute changes, if not just clarifications. So maybe starting next week, we can start writing legislation, but it's on my to-do list. I've just been really busy.
All right. Are there any other senators wishing to speak during Senate forum? No? Okay. We are now in Senate deliberations. Would anyone like to, it was Yalaman Chili for forum. Yeah,
Yes, can I speak?
you may.
So yeah, I would like to concur with Amanda in that LJR is currently going over title reviews, and so we're overseeing statutes and looking at what could potentially be outdated and what can be updated. And so there was, and the LJR meeting today, Amanda made a list of a few different things in Title III that she wanted clarification on. And so as we continue to go through these titles throughout the semester and later on, I do have confidence that we will have legislation to update those titles and make student government statutes suitable for today's student government. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you.
Temple, then DeMarla.
Yeah, I just wanted to bounce off again as well. If you do have any legislation you want to write regarding any of the current developments in the state of Florida, because I know there are quite a lot out there, you can always reach out to GAP and myself. I am trying to workshop a piece of legislation with a few other senators as well regarding some of the all the developments within the trans community. So if you have any ideas about legislation to discuss, please reach out to me. I am more than happy to do that. Although just don't let me actually write it itself. I will make it 3 pages long.
Pro Tempore DeMarla.
Yeah, is there any justices in the Charter Chamber or in the Zoom? Just because we need someone to swear in all the new senators. So if you can just hop into that breakout room, that would be great.
Yeah, Lizzie Bett just got in right as you were speaking. So she'll.
Okay, perfect.
Thank you for that. There, I guess we'll just sit here in silence. You're like, oh, wait, we have to keep going. Okay, so Senate deliberations. Are there any senators? Well, are there any senators for forum? None. Deliberations? No. Okay. Advisors report, Brody. There we go.
Hello, everyone. Yeah, no, not a lot of announcements from me. That's one of the beauties of summer, is that there's not that much going on. Yeah, I really just assumed that I would think of things by the time we got here, and that sure didn't happen. So, all right, we don't need that.
Wow.
All right, so since we have some time and we're gonna let those folks get sworn in and let Akila explain what president voting means and some other things, we'll do some senator shout outs. Who's got some senator shout outs?
I have one.
All right, Sierra, lead us off.
All the new voices. It was so good not having like silence and being like, all right, can someone please? I'm begging. So that was amazing. Thank y'all so much. Yeah, I'm super proud of the new voices and everyone here. That's me.
Love that. Perfect. All right, Vihan.
So I would like to shout out Chair Hurst for how active she is in LJR, and also for making SBA a committee of immaculate vibes. I joined SBA last week. I was in a meeting of SBA last week, and I just thought it was wonderful. So there's that. Shout out to the new senators. And yeah, that's pretty much it from me. Thank you.
All right, Kylie.
My shout outs for Vihan. Just like, I don't know, when I saw Vihan's face on Zoom, it just made me so happy. And like him doing his like little dance and like cheers. I don't know, it was so sweet, and I just miss Vihan. So because that was like my mentor. So just a shout out to Vihan for being Vihan.
All right, Vihan for being Vihan. Ethan.
I will make this very quick, surprisingly enough. Shout out to GAP and ORS. GAP because it's my committee, nobody else can take them away, and ORS for going through literal 2 hours of deliberation. And it was just amazing to hear all those voices. So it was just fantastic. And of course, I'm not allowed to give anti-shout outs, but I might as well give a shout out to my son, to Chair Hurst, for doing all the work that she's doing and somehow not getting herself killed through all the work that she is in. You still need to get some sleep, mind you.
All right, and conveniently, next up, Amanda.
I will not be sleeping. You cannot make me. Shout out to Vihan for still coming to meetings, even though they are in the wrong state. Shout out to everyone that's in person today. I love seeing people. It's nice. Jason, Ben, Laurel, Dakara, Sierra. I love all of you. I missed all of you. Actually, seeing everybody in person, it's nice. Shout out to SBA because I love you all. And if you want to come, just please come to SBA. We miss you. Also, shout out to Chair Kana for coming to every single SBA meeting this summer, even though she's not on the committee.
All right, Rihanna.
Yeah, shout out to Chair Temple for taking like 15 pages of notes, like really good notes for ORS earlier this week. My heart goes out to you, but that was really impressive. So thank you.
All right, Ben.
Just now that they're here in the Zoom and in the room with us, I want to reiterate a shout out to all the new senators that are here with us today. Congratulations. I can't wait to work with y'all. This is congrats.
All right. And Vihan back for a second round.
All right. Thank you, Brody. So firstly, I would like to give a shout out to my committee, because the LJR committee, because y'all are awesome. And I just felt I had to do that because Ethan did that too. But all right, I digress. I would also like to give a shout out to Senator Yera, because Model UN gang, and I'm sure that and I know there's those in Senate who are interested or who have been in Model UN. So yeah, shout out to him for being confirmed today. And lastly, shout out to Pro Temp DeMarla, because last week I met her in the national capitol in Washington, D.C., and she was an extremely awesome person to talk to. So there's that. Shout out to Pro Temp DeMarla. Thanks, Brody. And no, I am not coming back for a third round.
Well, good. All right. Tyler.
Yeah, so Vihan kind of stole mine. Mine is for Pro Temp DeMarla. She's put in so much effort into learning fiscal and making sure we feel supported. And I don't think I've ever been supported by anyone else more besides past Chair Wanjin.
All right. Ariana.
Shout out to Senator Hamid for taking point on the workshop that we're planning right now. He's doing so much amazing work, so thank you.
Perfect. And because Ethan cannot be one up, he's also back around for a second round.
Well, I just forgot outright. and it seems I'm forgetting them again. But in any case, I wanted to shout out the new senators as well as all those who are present, because I am incredibly jealous that you're all still in Orlando and in that illustrious chamber. There was one more, I swear. Crap. All right, I forgot. Oops.
All right, Ariana.
I just wanted to shout out Speaker Holmes because every time she sends me a message on Teams, it's always because she's either checking up on me or concerned about something that she knows needs to be done, and it doesn't seem like I did it yet. And half the times I completely forget, and her giving me just that small message just puts me right back on track, which I'm really appreciative of. Like, she warned me that, being a caucus chair is a lot, but my memory is not making it any better. So I really do appreciate her.
We love supportive leadership.
Yeah.
All right, Sierra.
I want to shout out Pro Tempore to Marla as well, because she's just super supportive. She's amazing, and I want to shout out my caucus chairs. Like, I don't think you understand how amazing y'all are doing. You're doing amazing, especially setting up for this summer, getting things in so quickly. I really wanted to reimagine this caucus leadership and how it operates, and y'all hit the ground running with it, and you're just so appreciated. So yeah, those are my last two shout outs.
All right, Akila.
Yeah, so I'm gonna shout out everyone who shouted me out because I have literally the most supportive community. I love being a part of Senate. It's amazing. And just working with everyone. Everyone does their best to help me, and I do my best to help them. So, it's just such a nice environment to be working in, and I'm so grateful every day.
All right, sweet. I think that's it from me. Thanks, y'all. Yeah.
Hello, everyone. Great work in Senate per usual. Very proud of everyone. Again, I'm here if you want to set up a one-on-one and meet with me. If you need anything, shout out from me. I'm not a senator, but shout out to all of you. You're doing great work. I'm very proud. And again, I'm here if you need anything. Hello. I had a cat gift, but it can't be a gift. So you just have to imagine he's making you all a pizza. But yeah, great work, everyone. I'm so glad we're getting through these meetings fast. We're being very efficient. I love it. And I miss everyone on Zoom, and I can't wait to see you all in person soon, and love all of you that are here having fun with us.
All right, are there any questions regarding the advisor's report? Seeing none, miscellaneous business. I just would say, Senator Vasquez, are you here?
Yes, sorry.
All right, I see your committee being added. I just want to make sure everyone has something in before I start doing the appointments and elections.
No problem.
Polera, did you decide which ones you wanted to be in for your caucus and committees?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, miscellaneous business elections. Is there a motion to open up elections for the CRT committee?
So moved.
Is there a motion to open nominations for the CRT committee?
So moved.
So moved.
Is there a motion to nominate Senator Yera for the CRT committee?
So moved.
Is there a motion to close nominations for the CRT?
So moved.
So much. Okay. No, it was nominations, then it was elections, right? Okay. I do nominations, then election. Okay, is there a motion to open nominations for the elections for the CRT committee? All right, there we go. All those in favor say aye. All those against say nay. All those abstaining. Congratulations, Senator Yeda, you're part of the CRT committee. Is there a motion to open nominations for the Elections and Appointments Committee? Is there a motion to nominate Senator Lazo for the ENA Committee? Is there a motion to close nominations? Is there a motion to open for elections for the ENA Committee? All those in favor? All those against? All those abstaining? Congratulations, Senator Lazo, for being part of the ENA Committee. Appointments. This is so much easier. Okay. I hereby appoint myself as acting chair of the Latin Hispanic Caucus. I hereby appoint Senator Lazo, Quiroga, and Yera for the Latin Hispanic Caucus. Sorry, give me a second. Yalamanchili. Yeah, just raise your hand. Sorry, I had a brain fart. Is there a motion to appoint Senator Polera and Vasquez to the GAP committee? I mean, I hereby appoint Senator Polera and Vasquez to the GAP committee. Sorry, y'all. I hereby appoint Senator Barnett and Vasquez to the SBA committee, and I hereby appoint Senator Barnett to the Disability Caucus. Chair Yalamanchili. You had something to say?
Oh yeah. My computer froze for a sec. So I just wanted to share my weekly This Day in History fact. So on June the 29th, 1956, I don't know how many years ago that was. I can't do math, obviously. The President Dwight D. Eisenhower signed the Federal Aid Highway Act of 1956, which created the federal interstate highway system, which is very cool because that's how they built our federal highways, and that's how they built I-4. And I'm not saying I-4 is good, but yeah, so thank you
For that amazing fact. Not deja vu. Okay, context before we close out. So who said the fact? Oh, Ethan said the fact already because it was said in LJR. So it's our third time hearing it, but third time's a charm, right? I will take a motion. Motion? No one wants to leave? Sandlin?
Motion to adjourn pending final roll call.
There's been a motion to adjourn pending final roll call. Are there any objections? Seeing none, Chair Hurst or Chair Yalamanchili, whoever's taking the reins on that. Yalamanchili?
Yeah, I got it.
Oh, wait, Brody, are the new senators supposed to do president voting? Or no? Okay, Polera,
Present.
so noted at 8:20 p.m. Senator Vasquez
Oh, sorry, that was me. I thought you said my last name.
is okay. Senator Vasquez,
Present.
so noted at 8:20 p.m. Senator Lazo,
Present.
so noted at 8:20 p.m. And who else do I have? Senator Yeda,
Present.
so noted at 8:21 p.m. and Senator Barnett. Barnett? Tyler Barnett?
I'm sorry. I was writing the email. My bad.
It's okay, just say present in voting.
All right, present in voting.
So noted at 8:21 p.m. Now you can, wait. Oh, we're already in pending final roll call. Okay, go ahead, Yalamanchili. I just had to make sure that they were, accounted for.
All right, cool. Herrera,
Present.
Trainer,
Present.
Nava Cruzat, is that how it's pronounced? Okay, he seems to be absent. eBay,
Present.
Kenna,
Present.
Morissette, she seems to be absent. Temple,
Present.
Vaughn. Vaughn. All right. Absent. Bishop.
Present.
Carringle is absent. Datlas.
Present.
DeCara.
Present.
Butler. Okay, present.
Type in the chat.
Campbell.
Present.
All right. Castillo.
Present.
Lazier.
Present.
Fintel.
Present.
Hamid.
Present.
Larson. Larson. Okay, seems to be absent. Rose.
Present.
Whitson.
Here.
Yera.
Present.
Quiroga.
Present.
All right. Carter.
Present.
Brown. Senator Brown. All right, absent. Similo.
Present.
All right. Humayun. Absent. Nadella. Absent. Senator Ishan Patel. Absent. I am present. Shah.
Present.
Acosta is absent. Borges. Chair Borges. Absent.
He should be present. I think he's just having technical difficulties.
That is what I thought as well, because he is here in the meeting. Okay, cool. You're marked present. Duke.
Present.
Hochfelder.
Present.
Holmes.
Present.
Hurst.
Present.
Kazay.
Present.
Barnett.
Present.
Lacasse.
Present.
Polera.
Present.
Patel. AJ
Present.
Patel.
Present.
All right. Pullman. Ile Pullman. All right. Absent. Richmond.
Present.
Sandlin.
Present.
Vasquez.
Present.
Cairo Cervera.
Present.
Pro Tem Marla.
Here.
And Deezer Mittal.
Present.
All right. With 40 out of, I believe, 52, 51, quorum is verified.
All right, I hereby adjourn this meeting at